Hey everybody, how are we doing today? Today our topic of discussion is paid advertising techniques to improve our visibility but without breaking our budget. So I want to share with you what I find are the top 4 paid online advertising techniques. Now, all of these have been extremely successful when used correctly. And if your business is new, you haven't been able to attract many visitors to your site yet, they're cost-effective strategies. And they're the fastest way to boost your visitor content and ultimately your sales. But before you can begin experimenting with these strategies, you need to know how much you can afford to spend on each new visitor to your site. If we're not tracking this, the numbers can get completely out of control. So it's important to be able to track how much does it cost you to acquire a new customer. So you have to understand the value of your visitors by learning how to calculate the value of a visitor to your site. Now, once you know how to do that, you're going to be able to figure out how much you can afford to spend on advertising without draining your wallet. Now, here are a few simple calculations you're going to need to make in order to determine the value of your visitors. And to make these calculations, you need to know your total number of sales, gross revenues, total expenses, total number of unique visitors for a set period of time, in let's say a month. And by unique, I mean people have never been there before. Now, once you have these figures at your disposal, then you're ready to do the math. So the first step is to calculate your conversion rate at your site. And you can calculate your conversion rate by dividing the total number of unique visitors to your site by the total number of sales you've made in any given time period. So unique visitors divided by total number of sales equals conversion rate. Pretty straightforward. For example, if you get 5,000 unique visitors every month and you make 40 sales, the equation will be 5,000 divided by 40, which equals a conversion rate of 125 unique visitors per sale. Now, if you don't know how many unique visitors your site gets, you need to contact your web server and check your server logs. Your logs contain a lot of data about your traffic and can be a gold mine of information. You could also use Pixel, and you can make sure you have the cookie function turned on. So you want to be gathering this data and analyzing it. Who's coming to your site? When are they coming? How long are they staying? Because all that information is somewhere and it can be extremely useful. Next, you want to calculate the net profits for every sale you make. To determine the true value of a visitor to your site, you need to know what your take-home profits are for each sale after your expenses have been subtracted. So the equation for that would be gross revenue minus total expenses divided by total number of sales equals net profit per sale. Once again, pretty straightforward. So let me give you an example. If you sold 40 items for, say, $79.95 a month, then you'd calculate 40 sales multiplied by $79.95 per item, which equals $3,198 in gross revenue. From your gross revenue, you then want to subtract out your monthly expenses. So if your monthly expenses came to, say, $1,566, your net profit would be $3,198 in gross revenue minus the $1,566 in expenses for a net profit of $1,632. Next, you need to divide your total net profit by your total number of sales to calculate your net profit per sale. For example, if you made 40 sales, you divide the $1,632 in net profit by 40 sales to get $40.80 in net profit per sale. So now that you've realized that for every $79.95 item you sell, $40.80 goes straight into your pocket as pure profit. And that's pretty good. That's almost 50%. Next, calculate your visitor worth by dividing your net profit per sale by your conversion rate. Now that you've calculated your sales conversion rate and your net profit, this is how you calculate the value of a visitor. Net profit per sale divided by the conversion rate equals the visitor worth. So if your net profit is $40.80, your conversion rate is 1 in 125, then your equation looks like this. $40.80 net profit per sale divided by 125 conversion rate, which equals 32 cents per visitor value. And this means you can afford to spend up to 32 cents to attract a single new visitor to your site and still be profitable. So if you invest $50 in testing an advertising technique, it needs to bring you at least 156 visitors just to break even. And one of those visitors needs to make the purchase. Now, if you receive fewer visitors than this and no one makes a purchase, then of course your test has failed and you need to move on to the next test. So, what are some of the best advertising techniques that now that we know how to measure it? The trick is to knowing which strategies to invest in that are going to generate a stampede of traffic to your site. And I've tried a lot of different ones over the years, and I want to share with you the 4 that I found have been the most profitable. So let's take a look at what I call my smart advertising techniques. First one is to get your site listed on the major pay-per-click search engines. Without doubt, pay-per-click search engines are still the best value for your advertising dollar. If you want to get listed on a PPC search engine, bid on the keywords that relate to the content of your site. If you're the highest bidder on a given keyword, your site will be the first listing that appears on the top of the results page when someone performs a search for that keyword. Next, getting listed on a PP search engine, it's the easiest way to get listed at the top of the major search engine fast. Plus, when you're in the top 3 listings, the Overture, like an industry leader in PPC research, your site will be featured as a sponsored listing on highly trafficked sites such as Yahoo, AltaVista, CNN.com, InfoSpace, and MSN.com. So if you monitor the click-through and sales conversion rates of your keywords, bidding on, you'll be set. You just need to make sure you're not bidding more than you're making from it. Now, to explore PPC search engine strategies in more detail, you want to check out the following PPC search engines. You can go to Overture.com. You can go to, the biggest one is Google AdWords, Google AdWords, and Miva.com. Those are the 3 big ones. Now, our next strategy is you want to place text ads in popular e-zines and online trade journals. Now, e-zines are popping up everywhere on the internet these days, but they all cater to different niche markets. And just like offline magazines, a lot of them need to sell advertising in order to stay profitable. By placing an ad in these publications, you can increase your site's exposure and piggyback off the e-zine's reputation, encouraging readers to click on the ad and check out your site. But first, you need to do some research to discover which e-zines and online trading journals are going to be the most popular for your niche market. Now, the cost of running an e-zine can vary anywhere from $20 to $100 per ad. So depending on the e-zine and the type of ads that they publish, it's generally safe to assume that the more popular e-zines charge more for their ads. Now, to learn more about which e-zines are going to be the best places for you to advertise, a couple of sites you should check out are ezineadauction.com and also ezinearticles.com. Now, next, make sure you get your site listed on paid inclusion directories and portals. A great way to get your site seen by a lot of different people and boost your ranking with the free search engines is by buying a listing on paid directories and portal sites. A directory is an indexed listing of sites that's managed by human editors, as opposed to free search engines, which are currently run by computers. Now, some directories are free, while others charge anywhere from $10 to $100 per listing. So you need to do a little research to discover which directories are popular in your niche market before you decide where you want your site to be listed. You don't want to be in the wrong place, because then you're just wasting money. Now, portals are mega sites that provide a wide range of resources, information, and service to their visitors. Yahoo started off as a directory, but it's grown to become a popular portal site that offers search capabilities, news, entertainment, and other features in addition to its index listings. Yahoo gets a lot of traffic, but it can also be really expensive. It costs almost $300 to get your site fast-tracked and reviewed for inclusion by Yahoo's human editors, and even then, your site isn't guaranteed to be included. If you want to get a good listing on a Yahoo directory, you should probably focus your advertising efforts on Overture, Yahoo's pay-per-click search engine, which it's going to get you listed on Yahoo for just pennies per click. Now, the 4th strategy is posting a banner, a classified or pop-up ad on industry hot sites. Whenever you come across sites that are popular with your niche market, do whatever you can to get your site listed on them. If they sell classified ads on the site, buy one. You can even submit your ad classified ad websites and databases automatically using software like Power Submitter. You can also pay these industry hot sites to place a banner or a pop-up on their site. Although banner ads have declined somewhat in popularity, it's mostly due to people misusing them in the past. Skyscrapers, which are the vertical ads placed at the edge of the web page, and discrete banners that look like they're part of the web page, they're actually still pretty effective. Now, pop-ups have gotten a pretty poor reputation, but once again, that's due to people using them in an intrusive or offensive way, such as pop-up loops that take over your computer. We found that a tasteful pop-up presenting people with a valuable offer, such as a free subscription to a newsletter or coupon, can still generate a high click-through rate, especially when it's placed on a page with relevant content. Now, unfortunately for advertisers, pop-up blockers have become more common, and that can be a problem. But there are new technologies available that allow you to create ads that look like pop-ups, even though they're actually built into the HTML coding of your web page itself. So, when you're exploring for advertising options, you may be tempted by shortcut strategies offered by companies that are often more interested in your money than helping you get the word out there about your site. These sites typically offer so-called targeted traffic or targeted email lists for sale. And they'll try to convince you that they're offering you quality traffic. But more often than not, they can only provide general traffic. People have no particular interest in your product or your service. So the best way to discover which advertising techniques work best for your company is to test, and test again. There's going to be some trial and error involved, and you may lose a little money on the errors. But once you discover the techniques that lure scores of visitors to your site, you'll find the testing was all worth it. As we always say, test small and you can fail small. Then once you've determined which advertising brings the best return on your investment, roll out the campaign in full and succeed big. So now I want to change gears a little. I want to talk about SEOs versus PPCs. Which is right for your website? When it comes to boosting traffic, those are the two basic options: PPC, which is pay-per-click advertising, or search engine optimization, or SEOs. You can pay for traffic using PPC advertising programs provided by Google AdWords, Yahoo Search Marketing, and a bunch of others. They enable you to display ads in the sponsored results section of each of the search engine's results page. Then you pay a fee based on how competitive your chosen word is whenever a viewer clicks through or from your ad to your website. Alternatively, you can also build traffic for free by achieving high rankings in the natural search results, the listings displayed next to the sponsored results. Now, you need to follow SEO best practices to try to get your site displayed on these pages more prominently and more often. And it may take some time to reach the top of natural results, but the free targeted traffic will probably prove to be well worth the investment. But which approach is better? Now, it really depends on your budget and your needs. If you want more traffic fast and you're willing to pay for it, then PPC might be right for you. But if you're operating on a shoestring budget, it may make more sense to invest time in chasing high search engine rankings through SEO. Now, the three questions you need to consider when deciding to focus on SEO or PPC and which is best for your business is: first is, of course, how large is your website advertising budget? In choosing between SEO and PPC, you first need to decide what size advertising budget your business can support. You can set your daily spending limit as low as you like, but it's a good idea to start at a minimum of $5 to $10 a day. If you have no money to commit to advertising, you'll need to stick with the free SEO methods. But if you have even just a little capital to invest in PPC advertising, consider giving it a try because it offers a number of benefits. One of which is faster testing. Websites should focus on achieving conversion rates, whether it's selling products, signing up email newsletter subscribers, or whatever other action. Now, this means actively testing website variables to improve conversion rates. These tests, however, they require traffic to generate data, so you may want to purchase traffic through PPC advertising just to get faster results. Protection from SEO algorithm updates. One of the major weaknesses of SEOs is that algorithms change from time to time. And when that happens, sites that have been optimized in one way can lose their rankings and profits practically overnight. So when you pay for traffic, you're assured a steady stream of visitors no matter what changes Google and the other search engines make. Now, PPC has a learning curve, though. Start with a small, highly targeted campaign and tie your PPC campaign to your Google Analytics account. It can tell you which conversions are from PPC visitors, whether your ROI, return on equity, is positive or negative, return on investment. Now, how high are your average CPCs in your industry? In addition to setting the overall advertising budget, take a look at what other people in your industry are paying for ads. PPC platforms typically allow users to bid on whatever they're willing to pay for in a single keyword click, a fee that's referred to as cost per click or CPC. If you want to reach people searching for a keyword phrase such as car insurance online, you could use the traffic estimator within the Google external keyword research tool and see that the average CPC for that phrase is, say, $2.76. But the average CPC can run much higher, $28, for example, for the phrase auto insurance. Now, those prices make it more difficult for new advertisers to turn a profit in PPC traffic. In such cases, SEO advertising may be a better way to go. Now, how competitive are the SERPs in your niche? You may also want to determine how competitive the search engine results pages, the SERPs, are for your target keywords. To do this, enter the keywords into your Google external keyword research tool, and that's going to tell you your estimated competition level, as well as the number of advertisers bidding on your keywords and the average CPCs. In the most expensive industries, you may find that result pages for your target keywords are dominated by authority websites. They can be nearly impossible to displace without significant investment of time and money. In such cases, you may ultimately want to make more sense to pay for traffic via PPC promotions. But it isn't always necessary to make an either-or choice. When combined, PPC and SEO can be quite powerful. Ask yourself these 3 questions to determine the optimal mix of PPC and SEO for your website. Now, let's talk about how we can do some big-time marketing without spending a fortune. What are some other methods we can use? Marketing is obviously essential to the company's bottom line, and traditional advertising channels like newspapers, radio, and TV get expensive really quick. And they also produce little or no ROI. Contrary to what we mentioned earlier, market strategies don't need to break the bank, so there are several tactics for saving money on marketing while still ensuring that your message reaches the right audience. Now, here's some I consider interesting ideas. You can do a partnered giveaway. Team up with other brands to generate large contests with grand prizes instead of organizing small standalone giveaways. All the involved businesses should pool distribution support and marketing manpower, as well as share the email lists and social media followings. One example is to take inspiration from Oklahoma's News at 6, which is a TV station that's partnered with a different local business in Oklahoma to promote giveaways. Another way is to foster user-generated content. Get users to build content and broadcast your company. BuzzFeed utilizes this method for encouraging community posts. HerCampus.com is largely community-driven, with the majority of its site content created by university women. Another tactic is to create a contest for the best user-generated content. For example, Doritos hosts a yearly Crash the Super Bowl contest with a cash prize to get fans to produce a Super Bowl video commercial for the brand. They also want to promote customer referrals. Referrals is always the best way to grow any business. So if you can encourage customers to refer their friends for your product or service, you got something. Airbnb and Uber grew up considerably thanks to their powerful referral net programs, and both which involved only small incentives. All you need to do to bolster your referral program is to provide a little money or discount to the source of the recipient of the referral. Now, of course, you always want to use social media. Social media provides many cost-free revenues for advertising your brand, including Facebook and Twitter. And another growing opportunity is hosting a Reddit Ask Me Anything and inviting Reddit users to ask any questions. A wide range of individuals and companies have hosted Reddit AMAs, from celebrities promoting movies to employees of large corporations to founders of startup companies. Before hosting one on your own, be sure to read through a few relevant threads to get a sense of what the best practices are for marketing for your business and for answering questions. Now, if you have more money in your social media budget, consider creating a YouTube video. Get ideas from Dumb Ways to Die, a safety PSA for a local Australian train company that went viral due to a skillful combination of animation, catchy music, and black humor. Check it out. It's actually pretty funny, very silly. Okay, next, hire brand ambassadors. Employ friendly individuals to be brand ambassadors for your product or service. And brand ambassadors can act as representatives of the company and spread the word to the public in many types of ways. Businesses like Lyft and Amazon hire university students as brand ambassadors to advertise their services across college campuses. You can also transform old campaigns into new ones. How do we do this? Instead of starting a marketing campaign from scratch, you repurpose or update a previous one. And this is going to help you save both time and money. Refashion or repurposing that works is toss out the aspects of the campaign that weren't successful. Moreover, the strategy, it should help you maintain the consistency of your message. And according to the RAND Group, a consistent advertising message can improve brand recognition. An inconsistent one, on the other hand, can be costly. It can lead to significant setbacks for your brand recognition. You can also exploit online marketing tools. There are many free, low-cost marketing tools on the internet that help companies save money and time on their marketing efforts. For marketing research, SurveyMonkey provides free online survey and questionnaire tools for polling a target market and analyzing the responses. MailChimp offers free email marketing service for sending emails using newsletter templates, managing subscribers, and tracking email results. But if you want more powerful tools, try a 30-day free trial of HubSpot. It's an extensive inbound marketing and sales software. Now, from time to time, you need to purge yourself. Stop wasting your money on poorly performing ads. It may sound like common sense, but an estimated 46% of ads go unseen, so many businesses end up spending money on ads that never reach any audience. Keep track of what you're paying for and why you're pursuing certain tactics. If there are marketing channels that have little ROI, then curb your ad spending, reevaluate your current strategies, and carry out more effective advertising approaches. Marketing your brand can be an overwhelming and costly process, but tips like these can help save you loads of money and time. And there are many more free and inexpensive tools available today than ever before. Make sure you take advantage of them. All right, how can we get social media advertising to work for us? Now, social media, obviously, there's so much to learn. It's difficult to know where to even start. Now, for example, audience targeting, budgeting, A/B testing, pixel tracking, writing, designing, analyzing, all these things need to be taken into account if you want to see a positive ROI from social media advertising. And then, of course, there's time and resources to consider as well. After speaking with the top brands and marketers from around the globe, here's a simple 3-step approach to social media advertising. The approach is going to help you bring in various elements of advertising, everything together in harmony, so you can derive more ROI from your ad spend. Now, while research and all these experiments, we found that there's tons of awesome advice on tactics for each individual channel. But what was missing was an overall strategic approach or a way to think about social media advertising. Instead of focusing on individual tactics and channels that frequently change, first focus on a blueprint that could be applied to any business, any brand, no matter the industry or the product. And that's what I want to share with you now. Social media advertising, the blueprint can be broken down into 3 distinct stages. There's awareness, which is top of funnel or tofu. There's consideration, which is middle of the funnel or mofu. And there's conversion, which is the bottom of the funnel or bofu. Now, unless you have a product that's flying off the shelf or a viral marketing campaign, you'll often need all three stages: awareness, consideration, and conversion. And they need to work in tandem to convert and attract new customers. Now, why are all these strategies important? They're important because finding success with social media advertising, particularly Facebook, is difficult when you're trying to sell a product or services. The first question we need to ask is, do any campaigns that are set up, are they simply trying to sell, or are they there to generate awareness? And more often the answer is no. It can be quite a challenge to immediately begin selling your product through social media advertising. As a marketer, you have to be willing to build a relationship with potential customers first before you can ask them for a purchase, especially with the higher ticket items. Now, that's where the idea of awareness, consideration, and conversions comes into play. So let's look at the pros and cons of each. The pros are the campaigns are easy to track. You can begin to drive traffic and conversions immediately, depending on your knowledge of your customers. If you have a complete picture of the ROI on each campaign, there's tons of marketing options, including age, likes, interest, income bracket, location, other demographics, retargeting options for people who've interacted with your content or visited your website. And relative to other advertising mediums, social media can be extremely affordable, which we all love. Some of the cons are, depending on your target market, the majority of the audience may be irrelevant, leading to wasted time and ad spending. It's easy to create ads and leave them without ever checking up on the performance, which can also become costly. Social media advertising requires a lot of attention in order to maximize results. And you run the risk of what marketers call ad fatigue. Potential customers might be shown an ad too early, too often, and then they're turned off. Larger investment up front while you figure out a good combination of content, visuals, and copy. So these are some of the cons for it. So let's talk about the awareness stage. Now, in the awareness stage, people are either completely unfamiliar with your brand or unaware that they have a pain point that needs to be solved. Let's use Nike, for example. Everyone's heard the Nike ad, and they probably even own a Nike pair of shoes or a piece of gear. If you're a direct, somewhat unknown competitor of Nike, the awareness stage is a critical place to start with social media advertising. Reason being, Nike has a strong hold on the market in terms of brand awareness and affinity. People may not know that your shoes or gear are more competitively priced or better quality than Nike. Awareness in organic content is one great strategy for increasing brand awareness and amplify your top performing content. Now, one of the biggest opportunities for many brands with limited time and resources is to simply boost top performing posts from their page. Not only is this the most inexpensive form of social media advertising, but it also provides brands with a way to reach new customer segments that they might not have been aware of before with the traditional ads. Organic social media content is a powerful catalyst in analyzing word-of-mouth marketing. People are much less likely to share an advertisement that feels like an advertisement with their friends and family. For example, in a recently boosted post on Facebook, it highlighted a photo from one of the community members. With just $100, unbelievable results were achieved. Awareness and audience targeting. What I love most about tofu, social media advertising that you can boost posts to specific target audiences, with Facebook, for example, you don't have to use the boost post button to see your posts on your feed. Instead, as a page manager, you can use Facebook Ads Manager to create a campaign such as traffic engagement or video views, or even create a custom audience. And once you've created a custom high relevant audience, simply select the Use Existing Posting option. Now, this gives you overall control of your budget, goals, audience, and allows you to run boosted posts alongside all your other campaigns so that you can compare the results. Boosted posts aren't the only option for marketers in the awareness stage of the social media advertising. You can advertise with fun articles, videos, graphics, memes, GIFs, anything you know an audience will respond to and ideally share with their followers. The main focus in the awareness stage is to create and share content that's super high up the funnel, tofu, top of funnel. And this content shouldn't necessarily ask for a sale or be a product promotion. It should simply look to provide fun, useful, entertaining content to an audience who's unaware of your brand or unaware that they have a pain point. Now, going back to the Nike example, awareness type content might be a video series on selecting the proper shoes for all types of activities, or it could be a complete comparison guide for the latest shoe fashion. Anything that catches someone's eye is going to help set your business up for the next stage, which is consideration. So the second part is the consideration stage. And consideration and conversions are what consumers typically think about when they hear the word advertising. Consideration in particular is the stage where people are either familiar with your product or they recognize that they have a pain point and they're researching options. Now, pixel targeting. It's in the consideration stage where honing in on the proper targeting and retargeting can become a huge factor in the overall success of your ads. Targeting the correct audience can lead to higher conversions and lower cost. We recommend the basic Facebook pixel setup on your website. You can find your unique pixel in Facebook Ad Manager under Pixels. Installing the pixel will allow you to track the behavior of users on your website and also target them in Facebook ads in the future based on specific actions. It's magical. Now, keep in mind that many social media networks offer snippets of code that you can place on your website in order to fully track the success of your ads. Now, some other targeting options, if you don't have a ton of website traffic at the moment, there are other great ways to target valuable audiences for your business on Facebook. One of the ways is using lookalike audiences. Using this sophisticated algorithm, you can create a custom lookalike audience that targets users who are most likely to engage or purchase from your brand. Now, there are two great ways to go about creating a lookalike audience. First is you can upload an email list of your most valuable customers, ideally customers who have a high lifetime value or customers that make repeated purchases, and you're aware of that. This gives Facebook a great place to start understanding who you target. Two, you can start to create a lookalike audience based on your own Facebook page audience. In other words, an audience that's closely related to people who currently like and engage in your page. And I've seen huge success with lookalike audiences. And recently, we've been experimenting with uploading a MailChimp list and awesome users to Facebook and created a lookalike audience from there. Campaigns use a custom audience that have resulted in 30% lower cost per click and 11% higher conversion rates than the standard demographic. So let's talk about that, demographic-based audiences. It's still a great way to target users. You can target users based on age, location, mobile device, interests, income, job titles, and tons more. Now, we've seen the most success in targeted users who like pages similar to ours. You might like targeted users if they've seen pages like Hootsuite, Jay Bauer, Mary Smith, Social Media Examiner, Social Bakers, and other brands similar. Now, how do you approach the consideration stage? To quickly review, the consideration stage is where customers are either aware of your brand or aware that they have a pain point that they'd like to solve. So here, it's important to articulate your ads in such a way that speak to the customer at that stage of their journey. Similar to the awareness stage, people in the consideration stage still need a bit of guidance or time before making a purchase. In speaking to some big brands and people who specialize in Facebook ads, successful content in this stage depends a lot on value perceived and the value that you're providing. So here, some questions you may want to ask are, what specifically are you providing users that's different than what they're used to seeing, hearing, reading, or experiencing in social media in their industry? In what you're advertising, what's so compelling that they should click on? For example, let's say your business is a marketing agency and you want to get more qualified prospects into your sales funnel. You started in the awareness stage and boosted one of the top performing posts on Facebook, which drove your traffic to the website. Awesome. Now what? Well, if you have Facebook Pixel set up, you can create custom audiences based on traffic to that specific page and retarget those users with an ad for another similar piece of content. Or you can maybe target them with an invitation to an upcoming webinar or marketing strategy. Or maybe download a free ebook that you created on starting a business. Since that audience already interacted with your content on Facebook and has now visited your website, you'll have a much higher chance of getting them to sign up for something in the future and might even get their email address while you're at it. Now, after posting the video organically on Facebook, you should boost it for a few extra views. And after 3 or 4 days, you'll see that the views can climb to a huge number. Now, once you create a custom audience based on people who watched your video for more than 10 seconds, we call that a highly engaged user, then you should target a top performing and related blog post to this audience. And that should drive traffic to your website. Now that leads us to our last stage, which is the conversion stage. Now this is the trickiest one to master, but if you get the hang of it, you're going to get big results for your business. Success in the conversion stage comes down to 3 critical components: the quality of your targeting, the quality of your ads, and the ability to track your results. Now, it's also worth noting that great conversion-focused ads almost always contain an irresistible offer. For many companies, this might be a discount on the product, a free trial, a coupon, maybe a buy one, get one free offer, or even the standard product in full price, depending on the industry. Now, along with this, the importance of being able to track results of your conversion ad tool using tools like Facebook Pixel, Google Analytics, a product like AdRoll, or even maybe your brand CRM. Understanding which campaigns are driving conversions and which campaigns are resulting in higher lifetime value customers and which campaigns are losing money is super important in helping you double down on what's working and drop what's not. It's important to note here that the word conversion doesn't necessarily mean purchases or sales. A conversion can simply mean a variety of different things to different businesses. Now, you may find a user who signs up for your website is much more valuable than someone who signs up for a free trial. In that case, you'll probably find it valuable to spend the majority of your ad dollars on webinar conversions, which you can track with a simple landing page or a thank you page. And speaking of budgeting, you should check out the Skillshare class, because you're going to get some great ideas from there. Now, the conversion stage is all about knowing how to track valuable pieces of content in every part of the customer journey. So it's that simple. I mean, social media advertising, it can be daunting for many businesses and marketers. And thinking of advertising in terms of the 3 different stages, awareness, consideration, and conversion, you're going to be well ahead of 90% of the social media advertising marketers out there. Now, you can begin with the basics, such as boosting posts to help an audience that you eventually target down the line, or you can jump right into the bottom of the funnel and have a piece of content that you think will work particularly well. But we encourage you to get out there and try it for yourself. Play with it, experiment, test it, see what works for you, but definitely it should be part of your strategy. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you found that useful. This is Joe Pastore with Platinum Method Coaching, and I look forward to talking with you next time.